Hello, I'm Zachary Van Zant, and this is Hong Kong News. Recently in Hong Kong, citizens have been protesting the Chinese government. More specifically, they're protesting corruption, the lack of religious freedom, and most importantly, the abuse of human rights. Major companies around the world are sharing their opinion, or the lack thereof, in this situation. The majority of the companies are in the public consumer industry. The reason that these companies are sharing their opinion and siding with Hong Kong is because most of their products are made in China, along with the fact that many in China are these companies' consumers. Apple, for example, used to have an app on the iPhone that could track Hong Kong police. Since the protests began, Apple has pulled the app to try to prevent protesters from protesting. Initially, the app was rejected by Apple until it was later allowed on the App Store. Not long afterward, the app was taken down. Now a large demographic in Hong Kong is boycotting Apple. Another company that is also being boycotted is the NBA. An NBA official, Daryl Morey, recently posted a pro-democracy tweet that went viral and was deleted not long after being posted. The Chinese government was infuriated because the majority of NBA viewers are from China. Some viewers have been booted from games for supporting Hong Kong. This ties into the abuse of human rights issue that is one of the main reasons that these protests are happening. These actions were seen as a betrayal and forced the NBA and some of its players to make statements of their own, many of which still support the protests while others don't support the tweet. Another even larger company, Disney, has gotten mixed up in this cascade of madness. The up-and-coming movie star Liu Yufei, who will soon star in Disney's Mulan remake, posted a quote that reads, "I support the Hong Kong police. You can all attack me now. What a shame for Hong Kong." This post on the Chinese iteration of Twitter called Weibo was heavily frowned upon by many around the world and once again called upon the forces of boycotting. One final example of a company we all know is Blizzard, the creators of many known games such as Overwatch, World of Warcraft, Hearthstone, and many other famous games. Blizzard recently took away a professional Hearthstone player's earnings after having publicly supported the protests. Blizzard suspended him immediately following the statement. This action had a visceral reaction that caused the company to have to change their mind on the subject. Blizzard has supposedly cut his 6-month suspension and reimbursed him in his prize money. These Hong Kong protests are tragic, and there's so many sides to what is going on. We can only hope that the government and the citizens can come to an agreement. Whether or not you agree with the actions of the companies we mentioned or the protests in Hong Kong, we think it's crucial that this issue is resolved for China and the world. I'm Zach Van Zant, and this is Guerrilla Wolves News.
Welcome to Guerrilla Wolf Sports. I am Kate Eckel, and this is Brick Zorns, the MVP of St. Paul's Wrestling.
Let's start off with our prediction for the LSU versus Alabama game.
This is our biggest game of the year, and last year we held their offense to the least amount of points at the time.
And this year we're looking very strong. We have more points per game and more total yards. Our defense is also very similar to each other on the stat sheet.
On paper, our stats are better, but personally, I still have to favor the dreaded Alabama. They lead our all-time series 53-25, and the last game we beat them was in 2012. It is also a home game for Alabama.
I still have LSU winning. It's gonna be a tough game, but I think we'll pull through and win in the end.
Now let's talk about the NBA. It's only the second week, so we can't say much. However,
the Pelicans are looking very bad right now. With Zion out with his meniscus tear, he's going to be out for another 5 to 7 weeks. And the Lakers, who have LeBron, who probably is like a clown right now because he moved to LA, Dwight Howard, DeMarcus Cousins, and Anthony Davis are not looking good. I don't know if it's because they think they're super good, they can just do whatever they want, but whatever.
Now let's talk about the championship. The Bucks, who lost to the Raptors last year, are going to be my pick for the East. And for the West, I have the Clippers. They already beat the Lakers, who are supposedly stacked, so they should do pretty well.
My pick for the East is the Celtics because my boy Taco Fall and Jason Tatum. And my pick for the West is the Rockets because how dominant James Harden and Russell Westbrook will be together.
And that was all for your Guerrilla Wolf Sports. We'll see you next time.
Hello everyone, my name is Clayton Cockfield.
And I'm Nick Dufresne.
In this review, we'll be discussing the top 5 haunted houses in America and their histories. Number 5. In Villisca, Iowa, there is a house that belonged to Josiah and Sarah Moore. In the night, 8 people were killed. After the murder, people have reported many sightings, from hearing footsteps and objects moving to seeing ghosts.
Number 4. In Denver, Colorado, is a home that was once owned by Margaret Brown, a survivor of the Titanic. There are reports of furniture being rearranged, light bulbs being unscrewed, and ghosts.
Number 3. In New Orleans, Louisiana, there is a mansion that used to be owned by Delphine Lalaurie. She had a torture chamber on her upper floors of her home. One day, the mansion caught fire. People have reported seeing ghosts, hearing footsteps, and even being attacked by spirits.
Number 2. In Salem, Massachusetts, there is a house referred to as the House of Seven Gables. It serves as the inspiration for Nathaniel Hawthorne's book of the same name, which in turn made this house even more popular. This house was built in 1967 and was standing during the Salem witch trials of 1692. People have reported hearing screams, taps on the windows, growling, and the electricity and water turning off by itself.
Number 1. In Washington, D.C., one of the most famous buildings is also considered haunted. The White House is the heart of the United States and has been around for centuries. There have been numerous reports of sightings in the White House. Eight presidents have said that they have seen ghosts. President Truman reported hearing knocks on his door and seeing no one there. Ronald Reagan also said his dog would not go into Abraham Lincoln's room.
With the deep history of these buildings, there could be very well have been ghosts living inside them.
My name is Clayton Cockfield.
I'm Nick Dufresne.
GWN, St. Paul's.
Welcome to Guerrilla Wolves Tech News, where we break down the details about the latest developments in the tech world. My name is Steven Dodolo. First up, we have reports flying in that SpaceX could be doing a collab with the United States military soon. Reportedly, Elon Musk's SpaceX thinks that the Army could use its Starship rockets to transport troops and supplies across the Earth in mere minutes. The company also has high hopes for its Starlink internet program as a military communication hub. Starlink is a large collection of satellites flying in an Earth-shaped grid, guaranteeing network coverage for everyone on the planet. While SpaceNet might be really useful for the Army, Starship cargo rockets are still a bit far out for now. Next up, we have the security vulnerability of the week. The new Google Pixel 4 has a vulnerability in its Face Unlock feature. The Pixel can be unlocked by pointing its front-facing camera at its owner, but it does not check whether their eyes are open or not. This means that someone could unlock your phone by pointing it at your face while you're sleeping, which could be a major problem for college roommates. Google says that a fix is coming, but for right now, it may be safer to just use that 4-digit PIN until they've actually sent it out. And finally, we have the details on leaked release dates for AMD's new Ryzen processors. AMD's Ryzen Threadripper 3960X, 3970X, and 3990X are said to be releasing this November 19th, which will drive PC prices down even lower. Intel, AMD's main competitor, still has no response after 2 waves of processors, even though they were the dominant force in the market for over a decade. Thanks to Intel's decade of price gouging and stalled innovation, this is a welcome relief for anyone buying a computer. Performance is projected to make another respectable jump, and expect computer prices to fall anywhere from $50 to $100 in the coming weeks. And that's been Guerrilla Wolves Tech News. Have a great day, St. Paul's.
Scout Island Scream Park, a haunted attraction in New Orleans, features rides, music, graves, monsters, wagons, candy, and most importantly, haunted houses. Don't be fooled, however. It is not actually an island. It's located in the wooded area of City Park. Making its debut on October 5th, 2018, the park presents The Devil's Swamp, Zombie Outbreak Battlefield, and Blood Bayou, among others. The most popular of these attractions is The Devil's Swamp, taking you through a marshy woodland filled with swamp-themed monsters. Pharaoh's Fury has also gained attention with the public, bringing you into an Egyptian-themed haunted house. The park welcomes kids during the day, but when night falls, the park provides horror that is not for the faint of heart. So if you're looking for a good scare, Scout Island Scream Park is waiting. Have a great day, St. Paul's.